You can stop it good, you can put it to rest it better, but sometimes the extra effort, a bigger heart, and a generous spirit gives you the experiences that leave the lasting impressions. You know the ones. The kind of memories that can be brought back by a smell, a song, or something someone says. I decided hell or high water, I would fill my life with as many of those experiences as I could. It's not an easy path. I mean, I wake up tired, my time is split a million ways from Sunday, and I feel like I'm barely holding it all together. But I've never felt more alive. I breathe deeper, I love stronger, and I've never appreciated the community that surrounds me more than I do at this very moment. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. So a quick recap if you missed the last few. We are at the tail end of what was one of the most epic days of our journey. We had to wind our way through a washed out old cattle path, crossing a river and up a steep rocky trail. We found ourselves only hours down our route and climbing up the steepest trail we'd seen to the highest peak in sight. But we conquered everything Idaho had thrown at us, and we were ready for more. I'm not sure if I could have scripted a day like this if I'd tried, and there wasn't one of us that wasn't rethinking the difficulty of this journey. It'd been the most technical day of trail by a long stretch. It tested our team, our character, and our strength of will. But the day wasn't over yet, and we were low on gas, so we chased the sun as it hung low in the sky, pulled off the trail and down an old country road into the tiny town of Oakley, Idaho. It had a population of just under 800, but what it lacked in numbers, it more than made up for in hospitality. It was a breath of fresh air, but the irony of our visit to Oakley on this particular day had only just begun to unfold. We are in Oakley, Idaho, and we just happened to stop here for some gas, and it's their Pioneer Day and a rodeo. And so we decided, instead of hopping off on the trail, why not participate in the festivities? I mean, we are modern day pioneers, right? So it just suits us. So here we are, chilling at the Oakley Rodeo, and it's epic.
Shoot number 6. Willie, the name of the horse from Hogan. Here's the matchup of the night. Come on, Mitch, go. Oh, wait a minute. Yep. Good. Come on, folks, don't put us down. Whoa! He was off before he started. All right, people, he's right in front of you. What do you think of Riley? Hey, anybody here go to college? Yeah. How many people are proud of the college?
This was a place where a name meant something. Introductions were met with full names and a firm handshake, something lacking in our fast-paced modern age. It was by happenstance we ended up here on the town's one annual event, and even more of a coincidence that the celebration was in honor of the pioneers. It seemed the Oregon Trail had many surprises in store for us, so we enjoyed the break, a great fireworks show, and hung out with the locals late into the night. It had already been an adventure to say the least, and we weren't even a third of the way through our journey yet. We'd wandered our way through Oregon enjoying the shade of the forest, we'd tested our team through Idaho's high deserts, and found refuge in the hospitality of Oakley. This was a personal turning point for Kobe and I, as we were now officially on the longest trip we'd been on up to this point. But we had a long way to go, so we stopped at our good friend Joe Abercrombie's compound in Blackfoot, Idaho, for a much-needed break, a regroup, and we prepared to continue on to what would be more adventure than journey.
You guys made it.
We did.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, you guys lose a couple rigs along the way?
How's it going? Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me. Anytime.
So we're here in Blackfoot, Idaho at Joe Abercrombie's house, and he was nice enough to loan us his driveway and a little yard space for our tents for a couple days while we kind of relax. We're heading out into Wyoming and out into the plains, and so we wanted to at least get one more time of just kind of cleaning everything up, reorganizing stuff, because it ends up kind of being a jumbled mess. So we just wanted to spray the dust out, get everything organized, kind of have some semblance of civility in the trucks, and then a couple days here we'll head off and continue on our way.
We're getting everything reorganized and cleaned, and it's gonna feel really nice getting back in the rigs and not being covered in dust. Fine, dude.
Two things I want to hit on. The trail and the teamwork.
It's been a long 8 days, 9 days on the trail, and so far it's been a great experience. It's had its ups and downs. I've been stressed out, I've been tired, I've been grumpy, I've been happy, I've been all of the gambit of all the feelings. So
Yesterday's trail was the most technical section of trail that I personally have ever done. My personal truck, the Ranger, it made it through. That was for me, that was a really cool accomplishment, just because anything you invest time into, you want it to be able to be trail proven, and I feel like at this point, the 2 years that I've had it almost, it has been, and this trip has definitely done that.
So it's been everything I've hoped for, and I'm sure so much more. We were ahead of schedule, had a couple of days to kill, and although lying low sounded good, we're adventurers, so we tried to make the most of our time we had in eastern Idaho. With our personal tour guide and chauffeur Joe at the helm, we took some time to cool off, get some aggression out on the beer and soda industry, and got a behind-the-scenes look at the CBI off-road facility.
That's awesome. We were started as a manufacturer of bumpers, so front and rear bumpers, rock sliders, tire carriers, skid plates, all that kind of stuff. My dad and I bought the company from him almost 6 years ago. We started adding some of the Overland stuff, like these trailers, some of the Oz tent stuff, their tents and chairs, and the lighting and the recovery gear, and lift kits and gearing. Most people, unless they go to a show, they don't get to see it. Right? So now they can come. This is all stuff that's got to go out and get packaged and shipped. So, but yeah, we try to keep all our stock, or most of our stock, up in here. Our engineer, you know, will take off this front bumper and he'll model all the mounting. And spend all Friday trail pictures. Yeah.
It was 12 days into our expedition, and definitely time to get back on the trail. Huge thank you to Joe from the team and I. We stopped for a shower and some food and left with lifelong friends. So we love the journey, we can't get enough of the adventure, but the true heart of this expedition lies with the folks that we meet along the way. By planning or happenstance, it really is the highlight of our days on the trail. So we left the comforts of the Abercrombie house and into the little historic ghost town of Chesterfield, Idaho.
We're the town site directors here. This is a museum. The whole town. It's a historic site.
So this is the ghost town?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys still keep it up, obviously?
Yeah, we have 20 buildings all restored here.
Oh, that's awesome.
We give tours inside of them and tell the stories of what happened here.
Very cool. What was the deal with them settling this area?
Well, they came up, a fellow came up with 300 horses in 1880 to find a big open area to pasture his horses, and that's how it got started, and people kind of moved in here to this area.
And was that Mr. Chesterfield?
Yeah, that was Chester Call.
Chester Call.
Yeah.
Huh.
And they called it Chesterfield because it looked like Chesterfield, England.
Very cool. Nice. nice. That's awesome.
Very cool.
If you want to take a peek in there, I'll open it up for you.
Oh, that would be
Would
awesome,
you?
man.
Well, 1880s when the founders came. Then 1980, 100 years later, the families got together and said, we can't let this old town die. And the ancestors of the original families
That's awesome.
came up and said, we got to restore this. So in 1980, we started. We bought up the heart of the Chesterfield, which was 162 acres. Takes in 25 buildings, and we've restored 20 now at this point. 35 years later, we've got 20 buildings all restored inside and out. So we got a lot of old buildings there to see.
Yeah, you guys have put a lot of work into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Incredible. Yeah.
beautiful. It's a labor of love.
Good snow up here.
Yeah, good snow. That's the number one reason they left here, because of the short growing seasons of winter.
Right.
It lasted about 60, 70 years up here, and they just finally the weather got the best of them.
Oh, nice balance.
Kids, we take the kids around, show them, I say, well, really expensive, so you better protect them.
Wow. Look at this old generator.
This is a covered wagon counter, counts the miles.
Whoa. I have no idea what that is.
Cherry pitter.
A cherry.
Put the cherries in there, knock the pits out. Back in time. This is an old leather saddle sewing machine. That would sew through an inch of thick leather.
You know, seeing stuff like this makes me feel lazy in my life.
1980s, Chester Call came from Battlefield, Utah.
With polygamy, does one wife have seniority over the other?
Generally, the first wife had a little more seniority. The old squeaky floors, well, my grandmother said they mopped the floors every day for two reasons. One was to keep them clean, the other was to keep them wet and swollen so they wouldn't squeak.
The last few days had been a whirlwind, steeped in pioneer history. And there was something to be said about the few folks that we met that devoted their lives to the history of their ancestors. It was amazing the ingenuity of these homesteaders. If there was a problem or a faster way to do something, they just made the tool they needed. Things were built to last by the hands that intended to use it, which gave it substance and a story, something that resonated with us. It's like the old saying goes, I guess, the best indicator of the future is buried somewhere in the past.
That's from women. I know that. I read it, and then return and when they return and then it's down again. So
We left day 8 from Brogan. We left. Yesterday we left.
I will.
Kobe, what was the name of that place where the lake was? Bruno. So. Yesterday morning we left Bruno, Idaho. God damn it. Then to Babaka Kabal Blom Bong Bong Glon Da Baba. Kablaba Bloom. Kabloom Bloom Baba Bloom. Wow. That one is a doozy. A doozy. We spent the morning. We're spricka barking? Probably been avoided if we'd understood what